Chads, are you tired of just freaking horse cocking weights, lifting weights, and you said, I need another activity to do something valuable with my time? And you said, hey, let's start with Jiu-Jitsu, and you're just starting out with Jiu-Jitsu. This video is for you. I'm going to be giving an ultimate beginner Chad's guide to Jiu-Jitsu, okay? So let's just go ahead and get right into it. First up, we've got gear, all right? The beginner, you need to know what gear you need to get. And so we'll start off with no-gi, what type of gear you should get for no-gi, all right? You're gonna need several workout shirts and several workout shorts, okay? The t-shirts, don't get them super baggy. They should be pretty tight fitting, preferably compression shirts, and even better would be called what we call rash guards, you know, this stuff surfers wear on the beach that's skin tight. You know, we want that on the mat because we don't want fingers and toes to get caught up in loose shirts, and you know that's how they get broken and whatnot. And so yeah, ideally you have about 3 to 4 shirts to start off with if you're going to go to jiu-jitsu quite often throughout the week, okay? That way you will have a new shirt each time you go to practice, and it won't smell like dog crap, okay? Which will be very helpful to you and your partners, and it'll help you prevent you from getting absolute skin funk that is disgusting, all right? Anywho, also the rash guards are important because if you decide to do gi as well, you can wear them under the gi and they can protect you from, what's that? Rashes, hence the name Rash Guard. They guard you from rashes, okay? So the gi causes a lot of friction with people pulling on it, and that shirt kind of protects your skin a little bit. Where can you go to buy these mythical rash guards, okay? Amazon is a good place to go. I know Elite has some cheap ones. Sanibel has some cheap ones. Those are about 15 bucks each. You can buy a couple of pairs of those, not break the bank. But they have like a ranked rash guards. So what that means is the black will be the center, and then the sleeves will be some type of color, all right? You do not want to get any color besides white on the sleeves, okay? If you show up wearing a purple or brown or blue sleeves, people will think you're that colored belt, and they will not be as nice to you when rolling and try to kick the crap out of you. So save yourself some pain and just wear either a white sleeved ranked rash guard, or just get like a cool rash guard design from X Martial like I do, and you can use code CHADJITSU all caps to get 15% off your order, okay? So yeah, X Martial's got some great options. Next are the shorts, all right? You can buy jiu-jitsu specific shorts. You know, again, all the brands I mentioned before, Elite, Sanibel, Gold, have some pretty cheap options you can get on Amazon. Or you could even save more money and use my discount code, once again, CHADJITSU, all capital letters, X Martial, to get some quality shorts, okay? But if you want to just go to Walmart and get some shorts, I recommend, you know, not too baggy of shorts. Once again, you don't want fingers and toes getting caught up in it, and you don't want to wear shorts with pockets or zippers, okay? That'll also cause a lot of damage to your training partner, and you do not want to be that guy, all right? So that is the basic gear for no-gi jiu-jitsu. You got to wear a shirt and shorts, okay? Another thing I'd like to mention, you don't have to do this, but it is, you know, if you like your teeth and you like having them and you like not having expensive dental bills, then I suggest you get a nice little mouthpiece, okay? Jiu-jitsu is a contact sport, pretty physical. You know, somebody's head could fly up and they could bite their lip or chip their tooth. So if you want to protect your teeth, a mouthpiece is highly suggestive. And then if you're a guy and you do not have children, or you just want to look to protect the family jewels, I also recommend getting yourself a nice cup, okay? You don't have to wear a cup. Some people don't like the way the cup feels when they roll, but you know, if you want to protect the boys and girls downstairs, I suggest getting a cup as well. That will never be a bad idea, all right? So just a basic no-gi bare bones set of what you need, all right? For gi, you will need at least one gi to start with. Okay, just get a basic, simple, either white. I would recommend white to start off with, because some places have specific rules about what type of gis you can wear. All right. A lot of places don't like it when you wear colorful gis, or the Easter egg gis, or the camouflage gis. They want like a really basic, either like gray, white, black, navy blue. All right, but just double check what type of gi they would like you to wear. Sometimes they just want everybody to wear a black gi. Sometimes they just want everybody to wear a white one. But yeah, once again, you can go on X Marshall, buy a gi there using my code. They got some solid gis that you can pick out. They got a sizing guide. Gi sizes are not like a traditional small, medium, or large. They go through like A1 to 9 or whatever. And so you want to get a gi that fits you as well. You don't want a gi that, freaking comes up to your forearms or comes up to your freaking knees. A gi must come down to the wrists, and they must come down to the ankles. And yeah, you got to do that. And you got to have a white belt to start off with. So usually when you purchase your first gi, they'll send you a white belt to go along with it, okay? So yeah, just make sure you follow along with your school's dress code. You might want to wait to buy a gi until you go to practice, and you can ask the coach or the instructor, like, is there any specific recommendations or any specific gis you absolutely hate and do not want to see in your gym? And yeah, just dress respectfully. And then also a bonus one that every grappler should have, every person should have, honestly, is nail clippers. Make sure you trim your nails before you go in and do jiu-jitsu. That is fingernails and toenails. We do not want you to be clawing other people like Wolverine. That is a big no-no. That'll get you a lot of enemies at jiu-jitsu. And cuts lead to skin diseases, and we do not want any of that. So please be nice to your training partners and trim your toenails and fingernails. And then an optional one, at jiu-jitsu, you're going to be sliding in and out of your shoes a lot, okay? When off the mat, you must wear shoes. When on the mat, do not wear shoes at all, okay? So ideally, you get a nice little pair of easy to slide in and out of shoes, whatever you want, Crocs, flip-flops, what have you. Just something where you can slide into and slide out of easily. If in case you got to go to the restroom during practice, you can just walk off, put your shoes on, go to the restroom, come back, take them off quick, jump back on the mat, okay? Do not ever wear shoes on the mat. Do not ever not wear shoes on the mat. Or do not be barefoot off the mat, okay? Especially if you're going to the bathroom, put shoes on. That is absolutely disgusting. You're gonna go where people pee on the floor. Your bare feet are gonna be touching that. Then you're gonna be going onto the mat where my face is going all over it. That's disgusting. Please wear shoes when you're off the mat. That is huge. Okay. And then also, last but not least, it might be nice to bring a bag with you to practice. Okay. You want to carry, your gi in, your extra change of clothes after practice, because, you don't really want to be wearing your sweaty stuff into your car and making your car smell like a bag of butt. You want to bring like an extra pair of shorts and an extra pair of shirts, so you can wear that like a dry set of clothes home and before you shower. But even better, if the gym you go to has a shower, bring stuff to shower to the gym and shower at the gym. You want to be showering as immediately as possible when you're done rolling, okay? That is a great way to prevent skin funk and a great way to keep yourself clean. And yeah, being a good training partner is showering as soon as you can, okay? So those are my gear recommendations. Hopefully you find that helpful. Let's move on to part 2, finding a gym. Luckily, this isn't like the late 90s, early 2000s, and there are tons of BJJ gyms across the country. Obviously, some are better than others. Other areas have more of a BJJ presence than others, but I guarantee you, if you live in the U.S., there's going to be a jiu-jitsu gym nearby, okay? So obviously, just Google jiu-jitsu gyms near me and kind of check out their websites. One thing I like to look for is social media. Usually gyms that care or gyms that are good have a strong social media presence. All right, they're usually posting, either training footage or post. A big jiu-jitsu thing is posting post-training photos. Okay, so you can get a gauge of the class size, who's all in the gym. Like if you're a woman and you want to go to a gym where there's women, it'd probably be a good idea to look at the training photos to see if there's any women there at all. Okay. And that'll help you make your decision. Be like, oh, there looks like some people I could pay, people my size, my skill level. I'm going to go there and train. All right. And you should be looking, like for a wide variety of belts too. That's a good sign, And they got a variety of skill sets and a variety of people in the gym, not just all upper belts or just all white belts. You want to have a good mix of everybody in the gym to go with. But yeah, so that's just a good little tester. And, don't just settle on one gym. Just don't be like, oh, this is the gym I'm going to go to. That's it. Try out several, see which one you like best. All right. Gyms should offer a trial period of some sort. Okay. If they don't offer like a free class or like a free week of trial classes, then that's a pretty big red flag. Okay. Like almost all gyms I know offer some type of trial period to make sure you like it, make sure you're into it. If they make you try to sign a contract before you even step foot on the mat for your first practice, that's a big no-no, and I probably wouldn't go to that gym. But yeah, some other things to keep in mind when you visit schools. A big one for me is cleanliness. Is the gym cleaned on a regular basis? Is when you walk in the bathroom, is it clean or is there just piss everywhere? Do the instructors do a good job of mopping the mats after every session? This is often a good indicator of hygiene and a low risk of skin infections, right? Do they take pride in their facility and look after it? That's a big thing. I already discussed the wide variety of body types, but yeah, it's just so important. Especially if you're an older guy trying to get into grappling and there's just a bunch of young bucks in there, that gets annoying real quick, right? You want to go with people of your skill level, body type, age. It's just, everybody should be able to roll with everybody, but it is nice to have like-minded people to roll with, okay? And I also talked about the variety of belts. Also, another thing I would keep in mind when going to a gym for the first time, and maybe some questions you could ask or, kind of try to discover on your own, is do they have more than one instructor, all right? It's not a bad thing if there's just one instructor, but it's just very limited on the teaching style, right? And everybody's different. Everybody kind of relates to different people in different ways and different styles of learning, right? And so if there's more than one instructor, there's more than one person to learn from and more than one style to learn from, right? Because you might have a really athletic guy, really athletic black belt who's really accomplished teaching the classes, but he's showing all these moves that you're not really capable of hitting, and so it's just really confusing and it's not really going to be fitting into your style of game. But really, it'd be nice if there was another black belt, maybe who was not as athletic but has a slower style of game that you can learn a lot more from. And that's the beauty of jiu-jitsu is there's more than one way to win, more than one way to be good. You just kind of got to figure your own path and how you like to play the game, all right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. So having multiple instructors kind of makes that process easier instead of having to figure it out all on your own. All right. So you've selected a few gyms to train at, to try out. What should you do at your first training session? All right. You should arrive to your first training session at least 10 minutes early. Okay. When you enter the doors, there should be a front desk or counter with somebody there. If not, there should be somebody nearby that you can ask, hey, I am Ethan. This is my first jiu-jitsu session. I would like to try out jiu-jitsu. Is there somebody, can I talk to the instructor? Who do I need to talk to? And they will point you in the right direction or get you started, all right? Typically what they'll have you do is sign a waiver, all right? This is just a liability waiver. You're just acknowledging that jiu-jitsu is not filled with bubble wrap and happy-go-lucky vibes. It is a combat sport, and you might get hurt, all right? We're learning how to break limbs and choke people. So you're just signing saying that you realize this and you won't sue the gym if you do wind up getting hurt. You are taking on that responsibility that there's physical risk involved in doing jiu-jitsu. So yeah, after you do that, they should take you on like a tour of the facility, show you everything, introduce you to the coaches and whatnot. And yeah, that should be the main thing, right? Should be pretty welcoming environment, all right? If it's kind of hostile or awkward or weird, then that's just a red flag, okay? They should be pretty welcoming, because you're a customer, all right? You're a new customer that could be a paying member, that could be a part of their gym, okay? And if they're not treating you with respect and they're not nice, then that's a little odd, right? Plus, you're another training partner to have, okay? In jiu-jitsu, we're always looking for new training partners and always excited for new people to come join our team. It is awesome. But with that being said, you must be respectful too, all right? If you're like a little standoffish, a little weird, a little disrespectful, then I don't blame them for being disrespectful to you, okay? Because that's not a type of person I want training at my gym. So yeah, after that, the class will start, and usually you'll do some type of warm-up. Some people have like an extensive warm-up. Other places, are just like, we don't warm up, just grab a partner and kind of start slowly moving around. So if that's the case, after warm-ups, typically the head coach or the instructor will pair you up with somebody who's a little bit experienced, right? They don't want two brand new people to go in together, because it's just kind of like the blind leading the blind, all right? They'll usually pair you up with an upper belt, and this might seem scary, but this is actually really good, because you're basically going to get like a one-on-one private lesson with this upper belt, who's going to like teach you how to like go through the moves correctly, and you can know for sure you're doing it right, and you don't have to have the coach standing over you watching your every move. Like it'll just be an easier, streamlined process, okay? And it'll help you make it a little bit easier, make it a little bit more comfortable. And so they also give you more tips on how to be a good drill partner, right? Drilling is like the instructor will show a move, and then you'll go out and you will hit it, and then your partner will hit it, and you will be like what's like a dummy guy, right? But you won't just like be like a limp noodle and just flop over on everything. But also you don't want to be like a stiff cardboard. You kind of want to give like a relaxed feel, right? Like you want to let them do the move, but give like a little bit of tension, so it's like an actual warm human body they're hitting the move on, all right? And if you feel like you don't know if you're being a good drill partner or not, ask the person you're going with, hey, is this okay? And give them feedback, all right? A good drilling partner is a good partner in general, is just giving you feedback. Like if you're going crazy during live rolling and just knee people in the face and nobody ever says anything to you, that's kind of on them as well. I mean, you should have some self-awareness, but also you should also be comfortable to tell people, hey, chill out. So yeah, when you're drilling for the first time, don't squeeze and tense up a lot, all right? Try to relax and flow. Remember to breathe. I see a lot of beginners just like forget to breathe, and then the move will be over and they'll be like freaking exhausted. Just like breathe and relax, and you're not trying to kill each other, you're just trying to learn the technique, okay? And it's going to be a lot at once, a lot of new stuff, especially if you've never done any type of grappling before. So just try to remember one thing, and that's perfect. That'll be good. But yeah, anywho, after that after the drilling is usually live rolling. If you are brand new, I don't think you should roll yet at all. And because you don't know what you don't know, and if somebody puts you in a position and you turn the wrong way, you could injure yourself, and that would make them feel bad. Now you're off the mats for a while. Just stay out of live rolling for a while. Give it a couple weeks so your body's kind of used to the impact of grappling, all that, and conditioned from the drilling a little bit more, because live rolling is a whole nother beast. And so after a while, I would say after a month, maybe start joining in. Roll with upper belts, mainly safe people. Upper belts will take care of you. They won't just like beat the brakes off you or hurt you. They'll let you work a little bit. They'll let you work what you guys been learning in class. It'll be a little bit better of an experience than just going with somebody who's also brand new and you guys just try to kill each other and there's no jiu-jitsu technique going on and you're really not getting any better that way. So just try to go with somebody who knows what they're doing and won't try to just absolutely smash you, okay? So yeah, that is basically that. I mentioned breathing before. Make sure you are breathing during live rolling. This is when people forget to breathe and get extremely exhausted, okay? Live rolling has several rounds, and so these rounds are going to last a long time. And if you go balls out that first round and forget to breathe, you are going to be screwed for the rest of the rounds. And that is really awkward when you go one round really hard and then sit out a bunch of rounds. Nobody really likes that guy. Some schools don't even let people sit out. You got to go every round. So, yeah. Just remember to relax, breathe, don't treat it like a death match. You are going to get your butt kicked. There's no way of preventing that. Just try to do what you've learned in class and try to stay calm and focus on breathing correctly, and you'll be fine, all right? You'll be pushed really hard, but it'll be a good push, okay? And so, yeah. That's my like basic beginner's guide for you Chads if you're just getting into jiu-jitsu. There's a whole bunch of other topics I could talk about, like red flags in a gym, but I'll probably save that for another video. But those are just some basic things to get you started, to make sure you're not disrespecting anybody when you walk into the gym, and to make sure you have an easy transition to your first class and you have everything you need and know what to expect, okay? If you got any questions, please leave them down below. And again, check out my affiliate links below. I mentioned X Martial before for your first gear. I highly recommend them. I also have an affiliate with Psychopharma for your supplements. You'll need creatine, maybe a little pre-workout to get you hyped up. And then also we got a new affiliate, Strong Coffee. I love this stuff. It's a little bit of protein in your morning coffee. The stuff tastes freaking delicious. I couldn't recommend it enough. So please check out those links down below and get yourself some either some Strong Coffee, some supplements, or some X Martial gear. But yeah, discount codes below as well. I'll talk to you Chads later.